Hello, everyone. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you actually know what to say in English, but you still don't say it? Like maybe you are in a class and the teacher asks a question. You understand everything, you even know the answer, but you stay quiet. Or maybe at work, someone asks you something simple like, "What do you think?" And instead of answering, you just smile or nod or look away. Or even something small like ordering coffee or talking to someone new. You know the words, but you hesitate. Not because you don't know English, but because you are afraid. And that's the real problem. It is not your words, it is not your grammar, it is that moment right before you speak. When your brain starts overthinking, you start telling yourself things like, say it correctly, don't make a mistake. What if it sounds wrong? So instead of speaking, you stop yourself. And the moment passes. But here's what I want you to understand: confidence doesn't come from knowing more English. Confidence comes from what you do in that moment. Because most people are not silent because they don't know English. They are silent because they are trying to say it perfectly. And that's what makes everything harder. Your brain starts checking grammar, changing words, fixing the sentence. And while you are doing all that, the conversation moves on. So let's change this. Next time you are in one of these situations, don't try to say everything. Just say something small. For example, if someone asks you a question, instead of thinking about a perfect answer, just start with something simple like, "I think, maybe, I'm not sure, but that's enough." Really. Now you are already speaking because when you start with "I think" and then you continue the answer, you are speaking. It is actually part of the conversation. So let's take a real situation. Let's say you are in a meeting and someone explains something, but you don't fully understand. Most people stay quiet because they don't want to sound wrong. But you can simply say, "Sorry, can you explain that again?" That's it. It is so simple and it is very clear and confident. Or imagine you meet someone new and they ask you, "What do you do?" You don't need a perfect answer. You can just say, "I work in marketing," or "I'm an engineer," or "I'm still studying." Short answers, but real communication. And that's what matters. Confidence doesn't come from long sentences, it comes from speaking, even a little. Now, here is something important: you don't need to remove fear completely. That's not realistic for sure. You will feel nervous sometimes, that's normal. The goal is not to feel zero fear. The goal is to speak, even when you feel it. Because every time you do that, you prove to yourself that you can. And slowly, that fear becomes smaller. Also, you really need to stop trying to sound perfect. If people understand you, That's it. You are already doing it right. Even if your sentence is simple, even if it is not 100% correct. Because communication is more important than perfection. Now let me give you something very practical. Next time you want to speak, give yourself 3 seconds. If after 3 seconds you are still thinking, just speak. Even if it's not perfect, that's okay. This will actually train your brain to stop overthinking. And over time, you will start speaking faster, more naturally. And one day, you will notice something small but important. You answered quickly, you didn't freeze, and you didn't overthink. You just spoke. And that's when confidence starts to feel real. Not because you waited for it, but because you built it. So, next time, don't wait to feel confident. Speak first, and confidence will follow. Even if it is just one sentence, that's more than enough. Seriously, that's more than enough. So, yeah, I hope today's episode is easy for you to understand and very useful. If you have questions regarding what I spoke, please let me know down below. Also, if you have other topics that you want me to focus on, please let me know down below as well. All right. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you on the next episode. Have a great day and take care. Bye bye.